Cyclone Rita forms near Vanuatu, while New Zealand continues to be warmer than average and drier than average in many regions. Kia ora, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks for joining us. The first tropical cyclone of the season has formed in the Southwest Pacific. We'll talk about that in a moment. But first of all, here in New Zealand, warmer than average. That's the theme at the moment for many regions. In fact, we said last week there could be a heat wave through some inland parts of the South Island, and I still think that is a possibility. If you look at the wind map at the moment, not a lot going on. This area here is the high pressure, low pressure you can see in the blue colouring to the south and off to the northeast. That's a subtropical low, that is not the cyclone. So high pressure dominates New Zealand with a light wind flow across it, very sunny, although you might have noticed all the smoke up in the atmosphere. That's why we're getting those really fiery red sunrises and sunsets at the moment. And while in the middle of the day, it just looks a little bit hazy out there. And that's thanks to those fires out over eastern Australia. So temperature wise, well, very warm at the moment, much warmer than average. The departure from normal for today, Monday, shows once again these inland areas are over 8 degrees above normal. Now that's not just for today, but it's also for Tuesday, when more of that heat spreads into the eastern side of the South Island. And by the way, by Tuesday, that means we've had 5 days with inland areas over 5 degrees above normal. So technically that should be into that heat wave criteria. And then by Wednesday, still seeing some hot spots here and there. And as you can see, most of the country is still above average, if not all of the country above average by the middle of the week. Rainfall wise this week, not very much coming. This is the total rainfall between now and Thursday morning. And as you can see, the North Island pretty much has nothing. You might get between 0.1 and 1 millimetre. In other words, a shower or a drizzle patch. The real rain down around Fiordland, that's where your rainfall totals are much greater, 150 to 200 millimetres maybe just in that one area. But otherwise, the main centre is much drier. In fact, all of the main centres really do look pretty dry. And if you're in Southland, look at that rainfall. Western side, you get a bit of spillover. Eastern side, you're mostly dry. And Cyclone Rita is the last part we'll talk about before we get into the day-to-day forecast. This is the tracking from the Joint Typhoon Warning Centre over the next couple of days. This is Vanuatu over here, Port Vila. It is likely to be strong out at sea, category 1 or 2 out here over the next 24 hours, and then it starts to curve that way because of that high pressure between them and New Zealand, and it should weaken and come in just simply as a rain event for Vanuatu. So this is the air pressure map for Tuesday around New Zealand. Here's the big high over us, and that is the cyclone. So as you can see, it is not very big, and it's got this big blocking high in the way, so it is unlikely to come down our way. Warm weather at the moment, subtropical and Australian winds coming down over the South Island, and that's why it is so much warmer than average, plus why we're getting that smoke and that haze up in the sky at the moment. By Wednesday, no real change. The low up here even weaker as it starts to move in towards Vanuatu. Like I say, it's more of a rain event than anything else. Probably lost its cyclone status by then as well. And down around New Zealand, warm subtropical winds coming down over much of the country. And if you don't have that, you've got a brisk nor'wester. Rain in Fiordland does spread up the west coast as we go through the day slowly, and then there'll be a little bit of rain just coming in there around parts of Southland. By Thursday, that front falls apart. There will be a little bit of it left over there moving into the western North Island, which means it'll be a bit cloudier for you with just a few light showers coming in along that western side. It won't be very much for you though, I don't imagine. And then as we end the week, high pressure out to the side there, just a couple of showers coming through into Southland, a little bit of rain over in Fiordland, and a southwest wind, which is not that cold. Because when you track the origins of it, once again, coming out of either Queensland or the subtropics. And then we go into the weekend, and there is not a lot of change. High pressure stays in charge. We've still got those warmer than average winds coming down right across the country. So a warmer than average week on the way. This is going to be one pushing the record books for how much warmer than average it is, and also maybe some areas pushing the record books for how dry it's becoming for the very north of the country, and a few other spots just here and there. But that is all from me. We will have our first summer and December forecast out for you this Wednesday. We'll give you more details then. Otherwise, our next weather update will be on Tuesday.